Mental Beats.
I could have been next to you, and my motions are perpetual. The 38 special, I turn your brains into vegetable. Headshots, only death for you. Sheesh, sheesh. Weight pusher, hump points, great hookers. Hard puncher, hot bars, great hookers. I tuck on the beat, great looker, straight cooker. Where you from? Brownsville, New York, nigga.
My older bitch look like she young, thick something. While I smoke a spliff, she sips something. No kids or nothing, she's money and dick loving. Her name meant something, used to sell bricks to her husband, but fuck it. Walked by the police, had to tug it, young and bucking. Time to get out, the bell wouldn't buzz in. 22 little rusted, but still be busting. Screaming and cussing, all you seen was niggas leaning and ducking. Sheesh. What the fuck do we have here?
Yikes. It's Curry Low, and we back, nigga.
My young boy,
30's boy, and we strapped, nigga.
what's crack? Let's go. Yeah, I ain't ready for this one. Hey, yo, Tuck. Fuck K.O. Tashi.
Yo, man, work time.
Lost the nation.
Listen, it's the C to the R-I, leave a nigga R-I. P, so I'm a G, so when I creep, nigga, on I. The hottest shit that y'all niggas seen since the sonar. A once in every 10-year average, just like the solar. Eclipse your boy, Loki, focus on the next flip. And niggas wonder how I get bread. Take your pick, whether it's fucking with the bricks or I'm switching up shifts. The way I switch up my bitch, that's how I switch up my kicks. But you can catch me in the Ville, nigga, putting in work. Dipping from the D's, niggas on my back like a shirt. A hot boy in the shit, but my name ain't Twerk. But you can catch me in New Jersey dubs, selling that twerk for sure. This a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Listen, this a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Yo,
Hey, yo, in the booth. Right to the pin break. Squeeze the 40. Shoot to the pin break. Lyrical exercise. Rappers better get in shape. Schooling you rappers for what my pen state. Never been to war, you wasn't Call of Duty. Only time you play with guns is playing Call of Duty. I'm the shit, you shit, they used to call you duty. You remind me of a Kim K pick, you all booty. Roll a doobie, smoke so much weed, man. The weed man, call me the weed man. Dispensaries for my weed plant. My independent ladies say they don't need a man. Just a real nigga with a good sex game. Long dick style. Run down on you niggas like Tyrone. Long clip style, pal. They done started with the wrong nigga now. Choir singing when the casket lowered down.
this a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Listen, this a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Yo, that's just shit, Lil. It's my fault.
Yes, sir, man. This is your boy Harlem Smiley, man, and you are tuned in to the one and only Dirt Gang TV. So, yes, sir. I know y'all wondering, man. That's a fact, A&N. Dave East ran 2020, man. Shout out to all the Rich Game members. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. I told y'all, man, we talking some music shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Joshua Cruz in the building, man. What's good? So, listen, today, we talking about 2020. We talking about rappers, the rappers in 2020, which albums dropped in 2020. I've been seeing a whole bunch of different, literally like different polls and shit up there of different people. You know, that was for the most part, there was so many different polls of what was going on in 2020 as far as rappers and stuff like that, as far as who had best albums and all that good stuff. Me, for the most part, what I did was I listened to only certain rappers this year. And when I say I only listen to certain rappers, I'm gonna go through the list. Scott G, man, in the building. Jeremy Catskill in the building. Link YMF, man. No matter what y'all rolling up, man. Whether y'all rolling up some Kush, Indica, Sativa, Hybrid, y'all smoking on that Reggie Miller still. Whether you smoking it out of a Swisher Sweet, a Dutch Master, a Backwood, Fonto, with the raw paper, of course, or the Bob Marley paper. And if you use the grapper, please keep that to yourself, man. It's time for y'all to sync up, man. Light us up. So it was a couple of late nights. Don't worry, I'm gonna get the energy up right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even share this shit. I still gotta share this on a couple of platforms. I'm gonna basically tell y'all, for me, who was the rappers that I listened to this year and the awards that is gonna be given away. Well, I mean, I'm not giving nobody no awards, but if it was me, this is how I rated it. So don't worry, hold on. Let me just share this real quick. All right, let's go. Let's get this together. So these are the albums who I listened to. These are the albums who I listened to this year. And y'all gotta excuse me. It's still 10 o'clock in the morning out here in California. So it's a little not early for me, but it's a little early still. I listened to Big Sean album, and I'm gonna try to name all of the albums. I listened to the Big Sean album this year. Detroit 2. I listened to Busta Rhymes, ELE 2. I listened to Conway album, From King to a God. I listened to Pop Smoke dropped 2 albums this year. Pop Smoke had Meet the Woo, and then he had Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. Jay Electronica, a written test. Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist dropped a combined album this year called Alfredo. I listened to that album. Royce the 5'9", the Allegory. Dave East, Karma 3. Lil Baby, My Turn. I actually did listen to the Lil Uzi Vert, the Lil Uzi Vert shit. It's that gas right here. We smoking on that Larry Bird. The Lil Uzi Vert shit was Eternal Attachment, I think it was. I listened to that Mozzie album. Beyond Bulletproof. Benny the Butcher, Burden of Proof. Gunna, not Westside Gunna, but Gunna. I think he's from New Orleans, I think. His album was called Wanna. Henry Davis in the building. Moneybagg Yo, I listened to his album, Time Served. Nas, King's Disease. Juice WRLD, Legends Never Die. Polo G, The GOAT. That 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. Savage Mode 2. T.I. dropped the album called Libra. I forgot what the hell that stands for. Juicy J, The Hustle Continues. King Von, Welcome to O Block, and G Herbo, PTSD. Those are all of the mainstream music that I listened to this year. I didn't listen to no other albums this year. I went through my search engine, and this is who, and these are the people who albums who I listened to this year. So with that being said, those are the only people who albums I'm going to pretty much be talking about. So here's the categories that we got. We got most lyrical. We got best album of 2020. We got best new artist. We got the Resurrection album. We got the unknown artist album. The best unknown artist. album. We got the most slept on album. We got the underrated turn mainstream category. Then we actually got who had the best album from someone who passed away, which is of a crazy category to have, but it's weird that you can actually have that category. You see what I'm saying? Because let's be real, it was a lot of people who had good albums, and it was crazy. Then we got best producer. Then we actually got like best podcaster. I threw some other stuff in there too. Best black owned podcast. Um, then I got the best non-conventional rapper. Then we actually had the best versus battle that happened this year. Then I got who's the best rapper in 2020 that came out of New York, the Midwest, the South, the West Coast. And then I have my favorite albums for the year. See what I'm saying? So those are all of the categories that we have, right? So let's start out with best producer of 2020. We're not talking about of all times. We're talking about best producer of 2020. So here is, and each category is pretty much going to have 4 or 5 different different people that's inside of the categories. So I did reach out and look through a lot of different algorithms and stuff from different channels to see which was labeled like this too, and it was good. So best producers for 2020: Metro Boomin, Hit Boy, Tay Key, fuck these niggas up, son, or Hitmaker. So I want y'all in the chat, because y'all know we talking some music stuff. Don't worry, I got what y'all need later. We got one of the interviews coming later with one of the Trinitarios, man. We got nice little interview coming later, man. So, but right now we talking music stuff. Talking music stuff right now. So out of those 4, Tay Key, Metro Boomin, Hitmaker, or Hit Boy, who would y'all think in the chat who was the best producer of 2020? You see what I'm saying? Me personally, I got Hit Boy. I got Hit Boy as the best producer of 2020. Now Metro Boomin, it been so many years too, especially from 2018, 2019 to this year, what he did with 21 Savage was good. But Hit Boy and Hitmaker and Tay Key, them 3, they worked with a lot of different big artists this year. But if you look at the crazy albums, like Hit Boy is responsible for these people who I just mentioned. He is responsible for probably at least 6 of these people albums being great on here. And that's just my opinion. You see what I'm saying? Jared McCaskill said Hit Boy. See what I'm saying? My man Joshua Cruz said Metro Boomin. My man Kamazorak in the building. See what I'm saying? So let's go to the next category. Most underrated. This is most underrated rapper of 2020. When I say underrated rapper, I mean coming into 2020, nobody was really checking them out, as far as that. So, and remember, this list of just people albums who I listened to this year. So the most underrated: Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs, and Jay Electronica. Chat, who do y'all think was the most underrated coming into 2020 out of those 4? Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs, or Jay Electronica? And a lot of y'all out there, y'all might not know who Jay Electronica is, man. Y'all look up Jay Electronica. Jay Electronica is not like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. He's not new, but at the same time, it's like, these are like a lot of breakout years. So out of those rappers right there, as far as the most underrated goes, I'm going to give the most underrated is probably going to be Benny the Butcher. And the reason why I say Benny the Butcher is probably the most the most underrated as far as coming into 2020 is because people knew he could rap. People knew Conway Machine could rap. Everybody knew Freddie Gibbs had balls. Jay Electronica, if you was in that vibe, Jay Electronica, he wasn't underrated. It was just he was to people he was kind of underperforming, if that makes sense. But Benny the Butcher, nobody expected Benny the Butcher to come out and like people knew about Benny, especially if you lived in New York, especially upstate New York. You know, people knew about Benny, but at the same time, nobody was gonna expect him and the whole Griselda team to come out like they did and just like, you know, and just kill the whole 2020 like they did. Like honestly, Conway had a great year too. But it was like to me, Benny kind of made more noise as far as his name got out there more. And it's not just with the shooting shit. You see what I'm saying? You know, shit, people be forgetting that he even was one of the people who even got shot this shit. But it's like, you know, before that, who wasn't talking about Benny the Butcher? Interviews, he was on radio stations. The album is fire. See what I'm saying? So in that instance, I got Benny the Butcher. Um, best album of 2020. Now, once again, this is just I picked the people who albums I listened to, and then I went to the polls. This is how I came up with these. Pretty much, you know, the contestants that's in these categories. So, best album of 2020, the Nas album, King's Disease, Lil Baby, My Turn, Conway the Machine, Conway the Machine, From a King to a God, or Royce the 5'9", The Allegory. So out of Nas, Lil Baby, Conway, or Royce the 5'9", who do y'all think had the best album out of those people? And we talking about like overall album. We talking about like notable songs. We talking about songs you can just play and just not repeat. My son Underground West said, Nas album was fire. That's a fact. Nas album definitely was fire. Me personally, when I talk about putting in the album, I'm gonna go with Royce the 5'9". You know what I'm saying? Joshua Cruz. Me personally, when I'm talking about putting in the album, and I played all these albums and like not actually skipping a song, it was two of these albums that I ran through and didn't skip a song. I'm gonna be honest. The Nas album, and the Lil Baby album. Those two albums I played and I didn't skip songs out of any of those. I'm gonna be honest, I skipped the song out of Conway. And Royce the 5'9", I skipped the song too. So for me personally, out of those two, I'm gonna have to give it to Lil Baby. I'm gonna have to give it to Lil Baby. Nas album was dope. Lil Baby album, I just felt like was that's something that could tap out to all demographics. You see what I'm saying? My man Bankos in the building. And me doing this is being non-biased as fuck. Because honestly, if I was biased, I would have picked Conway, or if I would have picked Nas. But I'm being non-biased as fuck when I do this. You see what I'm saying? So Lil Baby had a great album this year. He probably had one of the most impactful songs this year, if not one of the most impactful songs in hip hop, period. It's bigger than Black and White. That shit. See what I'm saying? Like, I give it to Lil Baby. Best new artist coming in to 2020. Best new artist in 2020 or coming into 2020. Joshua Cruz, you didn't hear the Nas album. Nas album is fire. That shit is fire. Best new artist 2020. Polo G. Pop Smoke. Gunna. King Von. Chat, let me hear this one. Best new artist of 2020. Just of 2020. Coming into 2020. being coming into 2020? Polo G, Pop Smoke, Gunna, or King Von? Chat, let me hear something. Chat, let me hear something. I know a lot of y'all don't know who Gunna is, but if you on that side of town, Gunna is making a whole lot of noise. I know Polo G, King Von, both from the same area. I know Pop Smoke from New York, but they do a lot of the same music. See what I'm saying? So, off of this one, right? I went off of numbers. I went off of the impact of the community. I went off of how many people was playing the albums and stuff like that. And I'm gonna give this one to Pop Smoke. The reason why I'm gonna give this one to Pop Smoke is because I feel like Pop Smoke, King Von had a big influence. Rest in peace to both of them. I feel like Pop Smoke was the way he put drill rap for New York and for Brooklyn on. The impact was just more for me as far as between that's who it was a toss-up in between Pop Smoke and King Von. See what I'm saying? But Pop had two albums that I like. I'm gonna be honest. I like the Meet the Woo album better than I like the Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. You see what I'm saying? But so like my man Jared, let's go through the list. Joshua Cruz said Vaughn. Scott G said Polo G. My man Banco said Pop. Kamazorak said King Von. Jeremy McCaskill said Pop. Daryl Clark said Pop Smoke and King Von. Joshua Cruz said Pop. Pop went hard. Pause. But my pick is Von. Daryl Clark said Jeezy had the best album of the year. I wouldn't say that. And Jeezy shit came out more. It came out more closer to the end of the year. Jeezy had a good album, but it was no TM 101, TM 102, TM 103. And the reason why I didn't put that on this list is because I didn't even get a chance to go through the whole album. Like I listened to probably like 90% of the album, but I didn't listen to it multiple times for me to be like, all right, well, I know enough to throw Jeezy in this one. Jeezy came out so late that, it's having more of an impact in 2021 than it is going to be in 2020, if that makes sense. And I wouldn't call Little Baby a new artist. You see what I'm saying? Joshua Cruz said, I changed my mind. I'm going with Pop Smoke. Joshua Cruz. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Joshua Cruz up there. My man Josiah in the building. Best Resurrection album. Now, when I say Resurrection album, I'm talking about albums from rappers who wasn't really noted in the last 4 to 5 years. It didn't have an album that came out and brought them back to life. And I'm going to put somebody in this category whose shit that I didn't really like, whose shit I didn't really listen to too much. And this one has 5 people in this category. But these 2 people in here, I didn't fully go through their album like I should have, but they're still in this category. Best Resurrection album. Busta Rhymes. Nas. Royce the 5'9". Eminem. And Young Jeezy. Each one of these rappers hasn't really been noted in the last couple of years, but I think some put out better albums. But as far as who had the best Resurrection album, Busta Rhymes, Nas, Royce the 5'9", Eminem, or Young Jeezy. Somebody put Weezy up there. Nah. I didn't listen to the Lil Wayne shit. I'm gonna be honest. My man Josiah said Nas' album was fire. That's a fact. Chat, what we looking like, chat? Who y'all think had the best Resurrection album? Which album you think resurrected their career to where they're gonna be extending it more? This is Joshua Crew. This is best Resurrection albums. See what I'm saying? My man Daniel Ramsey in the building said albums be trash to me. I can't lie. That's to each his own preference. I understand. But me personally, when I talk about best Resurrection album, I gotta go with Busta Rhymes. I gotta go with Busta Rhymes. That Extinction Level 2, that was crazy. If that didn't resurrect Busta Rhymes like whole career, you got the young cats gonna be running to do songs with Busta Rhymes, and it sounds up to date. That's why I said that's the best Resurrection album, because it sounds up to date. Shout out to Eminem. The shit that I heard off the Eminem, decent. The shit I heard from Jeezy, I fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with it. But it's like when you talk about Eminem and Jeezy, they got so many great albums to compare to. When you look at Nas' album, you like, okay, the Nas album was fire, but Nas got one of the best albums like ever put out. Like a lot of people got one of Nas albums in like their top 10 albums ever. But when you look at Busta Rhymes, the Extinction Level 2 album, that fits in with a lot of his great albums he got. It fits right in. It fits right in. You see what I'm saying? Word up. It literally fits right in. So for that instance, I got to get at the Busta Rhymes. I feel like Busta Rhymes had the best Resurrection album to where he can still jump on the tracks. Busta Rhymes got a flow that can go with a drill beat. So, see what I'm saying? Yeah, Eminem, this Snoop, but I mean, you know, nobody's really been talking about that too crazy. So I wouldn't call that a Resurrection album for Eminem. Let's get to the best unknown artist, of 2020. And when I say unknown artists, I mean these is artists that a lot of people didn't know about, but in 2020 now they know about these people. So best unknown artist: Jay Electronica, Freddie Gibbs, The Alchemist, Mozzie, Moneybagg Yo. This is the best unknown artist 2020. Jay Electronica, Freddie Gibbs, Alchemist, Mozzie, Moneybagg Yo. So when I say unknown artist means, but coming into 2020, they was unknown. But now people outside of the area know them. Who would y'all give that to? My man Joshua Cruz said Mozzie. Daryl Clark said Jay Electronica album was trash. I wouldn't call it trash. I listened to it. These are just all albums who I listened to this year. I wouldn't call it trash. Was it the best album of the year? Nah, but I wouldn't call it trash though. So me personally, I gotta get this one to Mozzie. I gotta give this one to Mozzie. Listen, Mozzie is from the other side of town from me. Y'all know I do this non-biased. I listen to Mozzie. I've been with me being from California. It's like you listen to a lot of rappers from California, especially upcoming ones, because you don't have too many upcoming artists from out of certain spots. You see what I'm saying? So Mozzie is one of them people to where California got more notable older rappers than they do like upcoming rappers. So it's like a lot of people know about Mozzie outside of the California state, outside of the Las Vegas area, outside of Arizona. People know Mozzie now on the East Coast. So with that being said, for best unknown artist of 2020, I gotta give that to Mozzie. See what I'm saying? Danny Phantom, who is Fujiano? I don't even know. I don't know who that is. Who is Fujiano? I don't know what that is. The most slept on album of 2020. The most slept on album of 2020. You see what I'm saying? Said, what's a Mozzie song? give you the whole Mozzie album. See what I'm saying? The whole Mozzie album right here. Go look at the Beyond Bulletproof. I always get him and Benny the Butcher, Burn the Proof shit mixed up. Go listen to the album Beyond Bulletproof, and you'll see. Slept on album of the year. Lil Uzi Vert, Eternal Attachment. Lil Uzi Vert. Nobody out here talking about the Lil Uzi Vert album. T.I. album, Libra. That was actually T.I. got so much shit going on with him this last year that it was even overlooked of the work that he put out last year. That's a good album. I'll be honest. That's a good album. 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, Savage Mode 2. That album was a good album. See what I'm saying? That album was a good album. There was just so much shit happening around that time. Nobody was talking about that. You see what I'm saying? The only thing my only criticism about that album would be 21 Savage's fucking ad-libs. 21 Savage, oh my God. There's certain songs, even 21. 21, on God, on my nigga. You gotta either say the ad-libs a little bit less or come up with some new ones to go with those. Shit's just listen. When you hear that 21, you know you're talking about, you ain't got to say that shit 4 balls in a row. 21, 21, 21, 21, on God, on God, on God. Come on, son. Come on, son. Juicy J, The Hustle Continue. So out of the most slept on album of the year, Lil Uzi Vert, Eternal Attachment, T.I., Libra, 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, Savage Mode 2, or Juicy J's The Hustle Continues. Daniel Ramsey said Travis Scott. He's not up here. I didn't listen to Travis Scott this year. My man Joshua Cruz said Tip. My man Kane in the building. Kamazorek said, but those ad-libs be going hard. They pause, they do. But at the same time, it's like you can't do that shit through the whole song. I fucks with 21 Savage. So out of those 3 albums, out of those 4 albums, I feel like the slept on album. I know this one is a little rough. Scott G said, man, this is hard, fam. Pause. The slept on album of the year to me came down to T.I., Libra, and 21 Savage, Savage Mode 2. Lil Uzi Vert, I'm gonna be honest, I listened to it twice. Shout out to Lil Uzi Vert. It's just not my cup of tea. Groovy Slim, what's cracking? Juicy J, that shit was tough though. I'm not even gonna lie, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go with T.I. Libra. The reason why I'm going with T.I. Libra is because even a 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, that shit is crazy. But people was actually even talking about that. But nobody's talking about T.I.'s album. And I guarantee you, if y'all listen to T.I. past shit, you can go right now and stream and listen to that shit called Libra. And I guarantee you're going to rock with it. See what I'm saying? Yeah, Groovy Slim, go ahead, give your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Of course you can give your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, out of those, I feel like that was the most slept on albums from the albums that I listened to. Daniel Ramsey said, I like the Lil Uzi Vert dance, so I'm gonna go with Uzi. You like the Lil Uzi Vert? You be in the mirror doing that shit? The Lil Uzi? I fuck with Lil Uzi. Dare to be different. You ain't gotta do the same thing that everybody else do. Dare to be different. Lil Uzi, listen, Lil Uzi done had movies. He'd have been in movies. He'd have made all the money he needed to make. If he be smart with that, you turn that money into other stuff, which I'm pretty sure he doing. He did what he had to do. 2016 to 2018 was a good year for the Lil Uzi Verts, the Lil Pumps, and the shit like that. Azora Lenard, man, what's cracking? It was good for shit like that, man. This next category right here, This is underground artists turn mainstream 2020. And when I say that, right, that means that these people was definitely just considered underground artists. But now in 2020, you may be considering these people mainstream. But who do you think is the bigger, who's the most mainstream out of these ones right now? Conway the Machine, The Alchemist, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gunner, or Dave East? Let's hear it. This is underground turned mainstream artist. Conway the Machine, The Alchemist, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gunner, Dave East. So pretty much the whole Griselda, Dave East, The Alchemist. Who do y'all think it has the most mainstream, is the most mainstream attraction right now out of those? My man Joshua Cruz said Benny the Butcher. Kama Zorak said Butcher. Groovy Slim said Dave East. Scott G said Dave East. You think Dave East is mainstream? Can't? Yeah, I think Dave East is mainstream. Look at when you listen, it's certain people that you do songs with. Once you do songs with these people, you mainstream. You do a song with Mary J. Blige, you're mainstream. Mary J. Blige don't do fucking features with underground artists. You do a song with niggas like Jay-Z, Drake, Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, you're no longer underground. You can't call Dave East underground. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Fat Black Face on Love out here trying to put dirt on the low name. See what I'm saying? Dumbass nigga. But he did a song with Mary J. Blige. You can't call him, what's the name? So out of those people right there, I feel like Dave East is definitely became, out of those ones, it was a toss-up. Because West Side Gunner, a lot of y'all don't know, West Side Gunner is probably, to me, before 2020 hit, West Side Gunner was the most, he was the most mainstream of the Griselda crew. See what I'm saying? Of the Griselda crew. So, because like they used to always say he couldn't rap as good as Benny the Butcher or Conway, but his ad-libs and his voice was different. You see what I'm saying? So that's what he was bringing to the table. So it's like with them two, I ain't got no time, them Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy, pause. Even if Slim Jimmy Balls was way better than Sway Lee still had the voice, and he had the hooks. So regardless of the fact, that's, you know, if you just needed a hook, good hook with just a voice added to it, let me go get Sway Lee. There's no sense to go get, like, anybody got balls. That's what I be trying to tell y'all rappers out here, man. Everybody got balls. It's more than just being just a rapper who got balls. There's more than to that right now. I've just realized that with me jumping back to this rap game. It's more than just balls. Everybody got balls. It's 1 billion people got balls. Y'all watch Friday Night Lights on here? Everybody got balls. It's more than just having balls. To make it, you got to do the little Uzi verse shit. You got to do shit like that. Shit like that roll. I ain't gonna lie. You got to do shit like that. Be able to perform and have a different kind of voice. Dare to be different. What you think happened when niggas started doing drill rap in Brooklyn? You ain't think years ago niggas was thinking like, somebody listened to that beat and was like, nah, this shit ain't gonna hit. This shit's definitely not gonna crack. Somebody listened to that. Years ago, somebody listened to one of them damn UK drill beats and was like, nah, I'm not rapping to this. And do you know what happened? Somebody who dared to be different went in there and they destroyed the beat. And then other people was like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. It's not that hard. Dare to be different. sometimes it works. See what I'm saying? So I feel like in this instance, underground turned mainstream. I'm gonna give that to Dave East. Shit is crazy, man. Groovy Slim said Griselda as a whole, though, damn on rip. Nah, you got to realize Griselda. I'm from New York, so it's like when you think of Griselda as a unit, because Griselda's not even like a group. I call them more of like a unit. When you think of Griselda, you think of just you think of dope underground artists that got balls. You see what I'm saying? But it's like you're not thinking as that right now. You're not saying like, oh shit, Benny the Butcher only got old ass beats that he could rhyme on. Nobody listening to that shit. You're not saying, oh shit, Conway the Machine. This nigga, he got bars, but the beats is old as fuck. Nobody listening to that shit. You're not saying that no more. Because the boom bap shit, that they literally, I can literally give them credit for single-handedly bringing back the boom bap rap shit with bars. Now people is back to listening to those older beats to where you throw bars at. But at the same time, nobody want to hear a whole album of that shit. So when you listen to Benny the Butcher and you listen to Conway the Machine, the difference is now they got concepts to the songs. Now they throwing different features on there, different flows and shit on there. Because nobody wants to hear an album that sounds the same exact way all the time. I don't want to hear a fucking drill album that's all drill beats and all of the beats sound the same. Nobody want to listen to that. Let's be for real. Nobody want to listen to that. See what I'm saying? So you know how that go. So this next one does have an honorable mention inside of here, because I feel like all four of these people had great albums before they passed away, and you know it just explained past that. So for 2020, I'm gonna have an honorable mention because this album definitely had impact, and this person definitely had impact in 2020 and still now to this day. So this is best album from someone who passed away. And not, I was going to do artists, but we're not doing artists. Juice WRLD dropped the album Rest in Peace. Which is Legends Never Die. King Von dropped the album Welcome to O Block. Pop Smoke dropped the album Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. And rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, man. You see what I'm saying? Victory Lap. In this instance, out of all four of those albums, I gotta give this one to Nipsey. I listen to Nipsey the most. I feel like Pop Smoke, I like that album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, but I like Meet the Woo better. Juice WRLD, think that was a good project put together. Me, I just wasn't like really on I really wasn't like listening to the music too much before that. See what I'm saying? But with Nipsey, I'm still playing that shit right now. You see what I'm saying? To this day. So, and that's just me. I'm gonna give that one to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace to all four, man. Four legends, man. Just, you know, in their own perspective, just crazy. We're gonna switch up the vibes a little bit on this one. This is the best podcast right here. The best podcast on YouTube from somebody either Black or Latino descent. And it's gonna be 5 people inside of here. Fat Joe podcast on Revolt TV. I keep forgetting they damn podcast name. Lord Jamal, the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. There you go. The Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. The Joe Button podcast. Noriega Drink Champs. Gilly the Kid, Wallow 267, $1 million worth of game. So out of the Joe Budden podcast, $1 million worth of game podcast, Drink Champs, Fat Joe on Revolt TV, and the Uncensored podcast. See what I'm saying? Who y'all think is the best Black-owned podcasters out there right now out of those 5? Because all 5 of them is doing a lot for the Black community, as far as, you know, putting people on and getting people names out there the right way, not no Vlad TV shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, man. Yo, Bankos, I appreciate that, man. He said the Come On Son podcast. Shitting me? You know what I'm saying? My man Kane said, I'm going to go with the Joe Budden podcast. Groovy Slim said, Rip can't include himself. Yeah, I can't include myself. But I appreciate y'all, man, for even listen. Hopefully next year, I'm even in the talks. You know what I'm saying? Groovy Slim said Gilly. Daniel Ramsey said $1 million worth of game. Groovy Slim said Gilly. Jared McCaskill said Drink Champs. So out of those, we talking about impact. And I'm not talking about just numbers. I'm not talking about, you know, we're not talking about just having like celebrities. I got to give this one to $1 million worth of game, man. I got to give this one. And shout out to all 4 of them. Oh, excuse me, all 5 of them. But I got to give this to $1 million worth of game. And honestly, it was a toss-up between that one and the Uncensored podcast. And if y'all don't know about Hip Hop's Uncensored podcast, man, that's the people who even expose old fat black dusty Faison Love trying to talk shit about the Loke Davies. See what I'm saying? So I like them because they interview celebrities on top of interviewing people who just got a name or have a story out there. And they don't just, you know, ask questions. They let you sit there and just tell your story. You see what I'm saying? So, and you know, and then somebody don't fuck with something like what Faison was trying to throw, you know, they was listening. They was like, I rock with Davies. See what I'm saying? So, you know, but they still let him tell his story, man. See what I'm saying? So it was a big toss-up between them. It's just like I feel like they're at that level to where they're right there right now is gonna be moving that next step up to where they're gonna be mentioned in this list of people with the Joe Buttons and the Gilly the Kids and Noriegas. But right now, I feel like the biggest impact, if all these podcasts came on right now at one time, and all of them all dropped the podcast at one time, I would probably throw on $1 million worth of game first. They shit got comedy to it. It got realness to it. They play people music, whether it's hot or not. They talk about stuff that's just, to me, it just feels 100% genuine when I go on up there. Like, I know for me to get on Drink Champs, I got to be somebody to get on Drink Champs. In order for me to be talked about on the Joe Budden podcast, I have to be somebody. You see what I'm saying? Fat Joe does a lot of music stuff. So you got to, if you and somebody in music, you got to be somebody. But with these other two, see what I'm saying? The Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, or the Godcast, excuse me, Jerry McCaskill, you right. Or Gilly the Kid shit, Wallow, you know, see what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's a chance. If I just ran into them, I'll be like, yo, you know, this is my story, and they fuck with it. I'll actually be like, all right, they gonna call me back. I'll rock with it. See what I'm saying? Kind of shit. This next category we're gonna go into is called non-conventional rapper. So when I say non-conventional rap, I mean they not out there just doing a boom bap rap. They don't sound like people from New York. They don't sound like Benny the Butchers or the Conways. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. So this is non-conventional rapper. Number 1, Lil Baby. Number 2, Lil Uzi Vert. Number 3, G Herbo. Number 4, Mozzie. So when I say non-conventional rapper, all 4 of these people, they don't have the just standard way to rap kind of ordeal. You see what I'm saying? All of them have different styles of their own. But which one was you think would be the most had the most impact as far as like non-conventional go? Out of Lil Baby, Lil Uzi Vert, Mozzie, or G Herbo? Me personally, when I say non-conventional rap and I think about which one had the most impact, I gotta go with Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert was doing that little dance. I'm not even gonna lie, he had gangsters in there doing that dance. He was walking around, fingernails painted. He had the merce, dreads colorful. He didn't care about none of that shit, and still made millions, millions upon millions on that. On that non-conventional style right there. And he had a lot of people following his ways now. You don't see nobody doing that right now at this particular time. But as far as impact, yeah, John niggas, it was niggas out there wearing rompers and shit, wearing the male rompers. Y'all remember that shit? Niggas are wearing male rompers. Y'all niggas was taking risk out there. Lil Uzi Vert was the reason why a lot of y'all was taking risk out there. Let's be for real. Merces, the little, you see the little dudes walking around with the little merces, the male purses. Y'all see them walking around with them shits right now. See what I'm saying? Shit crazy, son. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy. But to each his own, man. Best versus battle. Cause y'all know versus had a lot to do with getting us through this pandemic and all that stuff, man. See what I'm saying? So there was a lot of versus battles that happened. Some happened some happened on the big stage, some happened just putting together. But I watched all of the versus battles. The only one I didn't watch was the Gladys Knight. I'm not sitting there watching that shit. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people watch that shit. I didn't watch that shit. That's the only one I didn't watch. But out of the ones I did watch, in my opinion, these was the four battles that I felt, or versus battles that I felt was the four best, in my opinion. Snoop Dogg versus DMX. I thought that was a good one right there. Jadakiss versus Fabulous. My man Kane said, nah, the Dirt Gang TV versus got me through this year. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And no worry, it's not over. We got more coming soon. See what I'm saying? We was cooking it here, man. My favorite podcast is Come On, Son. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate y'all. Don't worry, man. Listen, when shit really get up there, y'all can definitely say y'all been here since the beginning. Wrench Gang in the building. Jadakiss versus Fab, I thought that was a good one because I thought that one for years. I always thought that would be like a good battle of the punchlines. Gucci Man versus Young Jeezy, because of all the controversy surrounding it. I'm not even gonna lie, as far as like close battles, but it was a lot of controversy surrounding that one. So I gotta put that up there. And then Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer. Those to me was the four best versus battles I think that happened this year. So out of Beanie versus Bounty Killer, Snoop Dogg versus DMX, Gucci Man versus Young Jeezy, and Jadakiss versus Fabulous. Which one do y'all think was the best versus battle of the year? For me, I'm gonna be honest. That Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer. What? I don't give a fuck what nobody say. There was some fire ones out there. I know Alicia Keys was in one, and she went against John Legend. I know it was a bunch of them. The RZA. I know Timbaland and Swiss Beats. I know it was a lot. I was there in Summer Jam when Timbaland and Swiss Beats did that for the first time. I was in the building in Summer Jam when they did that for the first time at Summer Jam. That was years ago. They did that for the first time. They did that at Summer Jam. Had that little battle when they went on stage and they was playing hip. I was there. See what I'm saying? But phone Fucking phone call. Yeah, shit was crazy, but you know, I was there. Yeah, I was there for that one. So, but that Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer, that one was crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, son. That one, that definitely was crazy. All right. So we're gonna do by the demographics, right? We're gonna do by the demographics as far as best album 2020 from someone from New York. No, I'm sorry. Hottest rapper from New York, Midwest, South, and so the East Coast, Midwest, the South, and the West Coast. So for New York, actually, let's go to the West Coast. For the West Coast, for people who actually dropped shit this year, 2020 artists we talking about. The Alchemist, Kendrick Lamar dropped something this year too, or Mozzie. So out of those people in the West Coast who actually dropped projects this year, who you think actually had the best project out of those people this year? Mozzie, Kendrick, or the Alchemist from the West Coast? Me personally, out of those three, Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs, that album Alfredo was dope. Even though Freddie Gibbs is not from the West Coast, it was a joint combined album. So from the West, I'm gonna give that to the Alchemist. That album, if y'all didn't hear Freddie Gibbs' The Alchemist album called Alfredo, y'all go check that out. I'm gonna give that to them. Mozzie came in a strong number 2. The Kendrick project, I didn't hear enough of it to, but it's not making too much crazy noise over here. The South, Lil Baby, T.I., Lil Uzi Vert, or Dre Electronica. So out of those 4 people, Lil Baby, T.I., Lil Uzi Vert, and Jay Electronica, I'm going to say Lil Baby was the best rapper coming out of the South 2020 this year. Out of those people who I listen to. Let's go to the Midwest. Big Sean, Royce the 5'9", Polo G, and King Von. Big Sean, Royce the 5'9", Polo G, and King Von. Detroit, Chicago. Out of the Midwest, I'm going to say King Von is the best artist for 2020 coming out of the Midwest. Rest in peace. New York. Best artist coming out of New York. Busta Rhymes. Nas. Dave East. Pop Smoke. Conway the Machine. Benny the Butcher. Westside Gunner. Pretty much Griselda. The 3 members in Griselda. Busta Rhymes. Nas. Dave East. So I'm going to say the best artist coming out of New York this year, out of all of those, I got to give to Benny the Butcher. I got to give it to Benny the Butcher. You know what I'm saying? I got to give it to Benny the Butcher. Now we go on to Smiley's favorites. Out of all of those albums we talking about right now, my 4 favorite albums was the Busta Rhymes album, Extinction Level 2. The Nas album, King's Disease. The Pop Smoke album, Meet the Woo. The Meet the Woo album. Dave East, Karma 3. So my favorite album out of all 4 of those albums this year was the Dave East, Karma 3. I'm still rocking Dave East Karma 3. I'm absolutely appalled that nobody's talking about that album. That album is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm not just saying that because I know, you Harlem biased. Nah, I'm not biased. Y'all go listen to that Dave East Karma 3. Y'all don't tell me if every track on there is fire. I'm just a Brooklyn Crip from a Harlem set. Show some respect. If not, cuz, put it in check. I'm up next. This is your boy Harlem Smiley, man. You've been tuned into the one and only Dirt Gang TV. So we got to wrap this up because I do got an interview that's coming soon that I got to hurry up and get ready for. So y'all stay in tune, man. This is your boy Harlem